Friends and family gathered tonight to celebrate what would have been Ariana's 9th birthday. Everyone is still coping with her loss, especially since they believe there's been no closure. Police say the man was cooperative when they contacted him. He's charged with a misdemeanor for a biting dog and could face a $250 fine. The jeans are decorated with messages that say no means no, and we take a stand against violence. Now the point of the messages is to get people talking about sexual assault prevention. These citizens are protesting against Western Pacific Timber, the company behind the land swap.
Cindy Cha's live with more on a story you'll see only on KHNL News 8.
Steph, according to family, 24-year-old Daniel Marks is an avid hiker. They say he goes away on camping trips often and always came back when he said he would. From foreclosures to housing crunches, this website offers the latest insight on real estate trends in Hawaii and beyond. Once he gets to Harvard, Chris says he will run for a spot on the undergraduate councils and join the debate team.
KHNL News 8's web reporter Cindy Cha joins us live with more.
It's called Share Your Table, and it cooks up a mean recipe. Of course, one of the highlights of the night is looking into one of these telescopes. Right now, I'm looking at the moon, and the Department of Human Services says it's time to bring them back home. The band has been getting by with old and even broken instruments like these ones. In fact, these are so old, they're being held together by duct tape. These volunteers are all members of the First Presbyterian Church of Clarkston. They meet every second Saturday of the month to provide their service, rain or shine. Having a mobile business has its advantages. Her office is always with her, and everything is at her fingertips. In Season 2, the team discovers unanswered questions surrounding topics like Fort Knox, Billy the Kid, and the Vatican. And for the first time, their detective work takes them to Europe. Ashley Eisen is in tears after learning her 4-year-old daughter is inside this apartment with her ex-boyfriend who she believes is high on drugs. Police say 25-year-old Jeremy Fitzgerald had broken all the windows in the apartment and was behaving erratically. Eisen reportedly told police she and Fitzgerald are in a custody battle over the child.
It's indicated that he's okay, but there is a 4-year-old disabled child inside the apartment, and our concern is for her safety.
Shortly before noon, police were called to the apartment complex on the 600 block of Brighton Avenue in Lewiston after neighbors reported hearing glass shattering. Lewiston police, along with the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office and the FBI, surrounded the apartment with their guns drawn. A witness who wants to remain anonymous says once she saw the scene unfold, her first reaction was to get out.
Me and my neighbor both were standing in my kitchen actually watching. Just to make sure we could see what was going on. And once I saw that the cops had the guns out, if I didn't feel an urgent need to get out of this situation before, that was my cue to leave, you know.
Police tried to make contact with Fitzgerald through cell phone, text messages, a bullhorn, and a field phone that was inserted through one of the broken windows, but all were unsuccessful. After nearly 2 hours, police confronted Fitzgerald face-to-face in the apartment, using a key provided by his father. Police took the child and returned her to Eisen. Fitzgerald was arrested and taken into custody. As part of the investigation, police served a search warrant on the apartment. It is now turned over to property management. Now, police did remove a few items from the apartment per the mother's request, and those items include the little girl's wheelchair and her high chair. In Lewiston, Cindy Cha, KLEW News.
I think he's got about 27 stitches, maybe.
6-year-old Toby is recovering from an attack last Tuesday that nearly killed him. Rachel Schoonover took Toby and her 9-month-old baby for a walk at Chestnut Beach in Clarkston when she said a pit bull bolted out of his owner's hands and pounced on Toby.
The dog came up right behind me. He pinned my dog right to my stroller, which bumped the stroller, and my baby started crying. And during that time, my dog got ripped out of his harness, which I had the leash still in my hands. He was screaming, if dogs could scream, and the dog had my dog entirely in his mouth on top of the ground.
Rachel said it was right here where her dog got attacked. She said it happened so quickly, neither she or the guy had time to react. But by the time he pulled his dog away, she said her dog was severely injured.
He had internal damages. He had, I think they're called laceration hernias. He had one of those, and then he had a separation between his ribs where his lung was exposed. He's got bruising clear almost all the way around his body. You can tell where the dog bit him. There's only a small section where he wasn't in the dog's mouth, so he's got pretty bad bruising as well.
The vet bill cost $430, all out of pocket, but she says it could have been a lot worse.
I'm pretty sure another 30 seconds to a minute and my dog would have been dead.
She called police, but by the time they arrived, the man was gone. A security camera captured these photos of him and his dog. He's described as a white male in his late 20s to early 30s, about 5'10 to 5'11, with dark brown hair and a short-trimmed beard. His dog is dark in color with a square head and muscular body. Rachel wants to locate the man, not only to hold him accountable for Toby's vet bill, but also for the safety of other pets.
He shouldn't be out in public. I mean, I wouldn't want this to happen to anybody else.
In Clarkston, Cindy Cha, KLEW News. Sharon Becker has 6 cats. She says every one of them brings her joy. But her happiness turned to sorrow after receiving an unexpected visit last Tuesday.
Donna Manchester from Animal Control in Clarkston wrote me a summons and said that every day I don't give my cats to her will cost me $150 per day per cat.
That's because Manchester says it's a violation to have more than 3 pets per home.
If we were to allow everyone to have the 8 to 12 to 15 cats plus their dogs, the city would be overrun.
But Sharon says she doesn't allow her cats to wander in the streets. In fact, she says this outdoor structure was built specifically for her cats, where they can live, sleep, and play in. But Manchester says the law still applies.
The city ordinance says you can have 3 animals.
But Sharon says giving up even 1 cat will be difficult.
I lost my son last year, my little boy. And these cats are my children. It's like giving up my children.
Neighbors we spoke to say her cats are not a nuisance. One neighbor who did not want to go on camera says the city has ignored repeated calls about a skunk problem in her neighborhood. She says officials should focus more on bigger issues.
I think as long as the cats are being taken care of and they're enclosed, I don't see any problem personally.
Meantime, Manchester has advised Sharon to appear before a judge. Otherwise,
I come back and see if she's ready to redeem the cats or to let me adopt them out, or else she receives another fine.
Sharon says if any of her cats are taken away, she will be devastated.
They fill the void in my heart, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get up in the morning. I love life through them. Because they're happy, they make me happy.
For KLEW News, I'm Cindy Cha.